Is Juraj Slafkovsky's contract with Montreal becoming one of the best deals in the league? And is Morgan Rielly's contract with Toronto becoming one of the worst? We'll get to both of those topics here on the 5-minute edition of Power Plays, powered by FanDuel. But Coco, let's start with the Montreal Canadiens. A great World Juniors for top prospect Michael Hage, and Slafkovsky has been on fire. What's the bigger development for the Habs?
Well, they're both great developments. I mean, to see the progression and development of Michael Hage leading the World Juniors in scoring, having a great year with the Michigan Wolverines, it's been really fun to watch, and it's really exciting to see that that's another prospect they get to add to this young group of forwards. But clearly the story that Montreal should be excited about is the rise of Juraj Slafkovsky's game. He's on pace to have another career year at 62 points. He's been absolutely on fire in the last couple games, recording multi-point games in 5 of his last 7, scoring in 5 of his last 6 and 6 of his last 8. And he's finding success of the newly created line of their young prospects with Oliver Kapanen and Ivan Demidov, who, by the way, both lead in rookie scoring and in points and have provided that much-needed secondary scoring for the Montreal offense. So it's nice to see that Juraj Slafkovsky is developing in a really positive way production-wise.
Let's talk about Morgan Rielly coming off a -4 in Toronto's most recent game against the Islanders. How big of a concern is the present for Morgan Rielly and the future with his contract going to 2030?
Well, look, I'm not much concerned about the contract because $7.5 million is going to be the average of what a top 4 defenseman makes in the coming years with the NHL. I'm more concerned about Morgan Rielly's play because defensively, he has been nowhere near the standard that the Maple Leafs need him to be. Team worst, -15. Game worst, -4 on the weekend in a game they absolutely needed him the most. But you also look at the goals that he's been on the ice for across the National Hockey League, worst in the NHL of players that play on a daily basis in the NHL. So the concern is even Morgan Rielly, look, he's still putting up some good points. He still has the offensive game. It's the defense that really concerns you, and hopefully he can find a way to bring it back to where it needs to be because this team desperately needs him to be better on defense.
This is a question that would be almost unfathomable to ask at the beginning of the season, but now it's totally legit. Leafs or Sabres? Better bet to make the playoffs.
Call me crazy, but don't call me a homer because I'm going with the Leafs on this. I'm just taking the value of a team that's more proven. Because as great as the Buffalo Sabres run has been, 10 games, they got themselves back in the playoff race. They're still 3 points out of a playoff spot, and the Maple Leafs are only 4 points out of a playoff spot. And the Sabres have had these runs in the past. You've always looked to see how they would come out of it. And that's what I want to see to the Sabres. How do they come out of this recent stretch of success that they've had? For the Maple Leafs, some encouraging things. Their power play has gotten a lot better. They're dealing with some injuries. They need an improved defense, but they're getting pretty good goaltending. So I would trust the more proven Maple Leafs to be the better value here to make the playoffs.
And perhaps the most important thing for Toronto going forward, the play of Austin Matthews. He has been incredible in the last couple of weeks. Let's talk about the Ottawa Senators, a team that everyone was pretty high on heading into the season. Our man Marty Biron said on Jay Onright Sports Center last night that he thinks the Sens will miss the postseason. Are you with Marty?
I am with Marty on this one, and I hate the fact that I'm with Marty because I had so much optimism for the Senators based on the year they had last year. But the key to their success last year was goaltending, and they haven't been getting that type of level of goaltending needed to push for a playoff spot. And now the uncertainty of Linus Ullmark's future, when he's going to be back with the team, can you trust Merrilainen and Shepard to hold the fort there? The Senators, who are in the middle of a very jam-packed Eastern Conference of teams vying for that playoff spot. And the thing that's discouraging about the Ottawa Senators, too, is they have the 31st ranked penalty kill. You're not going to win many games. You can't keep the puck out of your net.
Well, let's talk about the most disappointing team in the NHL this year. Last year, they win the President's Trophy. This year, they've been one of the worst teams in the NHL. Of course, that's the Winnipeg Jets. Should Kevin Cheveldayoff, their general manager, look to punt on this season and become sellers?
Not yet. And the reason why I say that is because there's 16 games left before the Olympic break, and 10 of them are at home. Hellebuck hasn't been anywhere near his standard since coming back from his injury. He's 1-5-3 with an .888 save percentage. If they can find a way to win 8 out of their 10 home games and Hellebuck find his form again and be a 4-9 team and find their identity, maybe they can get themselves back into the mix. But if they can't, then yes, they have to sell off.
Well, it could be some good assets on the trade market ahead of Trade Center here at TSN. Thank you for this, Coco. This has been Power Plays, powered by FanDuel.